Okay, questions for the letter O? You've been asking all the first ones. We'll give quick.
Dame, how do you feel about this roster?
I think, over the years we've always had a competitive team, and I think, we'll be competitive again. Obviously, at the end of last season, I wanted to see our roster improve. I wanted us to have a better chance to win. And we had our conversations, throughout the summer about what that looked like and how we could take steps in that direction. And I come into this season with faith that that's going to happen and that we're going to do that. I feel like Larry Nance is a good pickup for our team. Athleticism, if it's, a team playing small ball five, he can make a three, get us extra opportunities offensively, defensively, make us more versatile. We got some guys with experience, Tony Snell, 3-and-D, Ben McLemore, another shooter. We got some really good guys in camp, Marquise Chris, Dennis Smith, Pat. We got some decent guys around that, we can form into a really good team and be competitive. It's only one way to find out how competitive and what it can actually be, and we're going to find out soon.
Damian, were you hoping for a bigger roster splash in terms of a trade, and are you satisfied with the efforts made in that endeavor?
I think it's anytime you come into a off season and you want to make changes bad, it's one thing to go out looking for it and to try to make it happen. Obviously, you need a partner. It takes two, but you also don't want to go out there and just do anything. When we've established so much as a team and as an organization, you don't want to just go do something just to say I made a change. You want it to be in line, with something that could actually make us better and something that could send us to the level that we're trying to get to. So like I said, we've done some things that I like. I didn't expect us to go out there and get Kevin Durant all of a sudden, but I think the conversations that we've had, what we've sat down and talked about, I feel like it's genuine that we're trying to move in the right direction and give our team a chance to actually go get it done. So that's what I feel. I have faith in the fact that, we've had real conversations, and that's what everybody's intentions are. So,
AJ McCord.
Can you hold up the gold medal so we can get a nice look at it, please?
Y'all want to pass it around? Want to pass it around? Actually, man, y'all can't touch my medal. I take it back. I take it back.
One of the things Chauncey talked about today is just he's going to have direct accountability with you guys as you try to shift into a better defensive team. How much do you appreciate that direct communication, and does it give you faith that despite the roster being very similar, the results can be different?
I just, from being around for the last month or so, I have a lot of faith that even though our roster is very similar to what it was, I have a lot of faith that we can be better defensively. Obviously, sometimes you just have change. It's a fresh start. It's new, and I think that will be a part of it. It was just basically a decade of we were the same team. We had the same style. So just having a new staff, they bring something different, new people, new faces, new voices. I think that's gonna probably automatically give us a step in the right direction because we're hearing something fresh. But just walking through things, talking through things that we've been doing while we had guys in the gym, I feel like the amount of detail, the focus on it, how much time, we spend talking about it and, pointing out spots on the court and things like that, I feel like we'll be a much better defensive team. And once again, we can say it, and very soon we'll find out if that's actually going to happen. But I do honestly feel like some of the changes and some of the things that they're bringing with them as a staff, I feel like we'll be better defensively.
Orlando Sanchez.
Dame, you've had quite the memorable offseason, the gold medal, you get married, album drop, et cetera, et cetera. How does that help, shape the man that you're becoming, and how does that help impact the player that you are as well, learning from those experiences that you had in such a short period of time here this offseason?
I think it just, I don't know how much I would say it shapes me. It's a lot of things that play a part in that, but I think it kind of put me in my place. The woman that I married is the woman I met in college, so that was something that I stuck with, ups and downs in a relationship. I don't know if I really want to be with you. I don't know if I like you today. Like, you go through those things, and then we end up being married. And I do USA at the beginning of my career. I walk away from it, don't really have interest in it. Then I win a gold medal. More music. I had twins earlier this year. Things like that. And it just kind of centered me. Like, all right, this is like, I'm in that space that I need to be in. And that was also part of me saying, like, I've always seen everything through, you know what I mean? Whether it was a relationship, whether it was people telling me you shouldn't be doing music, whether it was, I don't know how much I really want to compete in the Olympics, like whatever, then I ended up doing it. And it was all a part of, like, where I am now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been a person, I go out on my shield. Anytime I ever had a fight, anytime I was ever a part of something, like, I'll go out on my shield. And that was like all of those things that I stuck with, and like, these were the end results of it is, what has me here, what keeps me so invested here is like, I want to see it through. I want to see it happen. I mean what I say. And, it gets rocky, it's ups and downs, things come with it, but, I got engaged when it was least expected. Like, all the things happen when it was least expected. So for me, it's like I want to see it through. So like that, I would say that's how it's impacted me and where I am in my life now. It's like I want to see it through, and I'm willing to, like I said, go out on my shield, and not do something that wouldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? Step outside of myself to do something to, satisfy other people. I'm gonna do me, like I always do me, and wherever that falls, I'm willing to, I'm gonna go out on my shield, like I said.
Jason Quick.
Hey, Dame, the amount of time that you spent with Team USA and around all those great players, I imagine there was a lot of conversations and whatnot.
Right.
Did anything kind of stick with you or, really resonate or throughout all those conversations?
As far as what?
I don't know. You've talked to guys who won championships,
Yeah.
and through processes and all that. Did anything
No,
really kind of stick with you?
I spent a lot of time with Draymond. Like, me and Draymond, pretty good friends, and I talked to KD a lot. Zach LaVine never played in the playoffs. I never knew that until he told me. Like, man, I've never played in the playoffs. But we had a lot of conversations, and it was like it felt like people want to see you win. You know what I mean? Like, obviously they're my competitors, but they like, when you talk about a championship, they like, dang, you want to win? Like, don't you want to win it all? And everybody's talking about their experiences, and when I was in Golden State, and when I was here, when I was there, when we played this team, when we played that team, and it's like, I'm sitting there like, man, I really feel like it can be done. That's just really how I feel. Like, it can be done, and a lot of things have to go right. But just being a part of those types of conversations where everybody's talking about it, even the women's team, like being around Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi and Tina Charles and Brittany Griner and Breonna Stewart, like, just being around them and how they talk about like those experiences is like, I want to have those same experiences, and I feel like it's gonna happen. I just do. Just that sometimes it happened when it was least expected, like Golden State in 2015. Like, Draymond, the first one that they won, nobody expected them to just come out and just win like that. And they just came out and win. So, like, that was something that I hold on to, is just like, you can't come into the season like this the year, because you might think that and then come out and have a terrible year. You just never know. And if your mind is not right, in the right place, ready to go and do the job, then you just never know when that moment is going to come. So that was like the biggest takeaway for me. And then also watching last year's postseason, I was like even more convinced, like, I know it can be done.
Got time for a few more. Sean Huygen?
Dame, Neil said the whole team is vaccinated, but I don't think anybody's asked you personally kind of what your thoughts are on, how you came to that decision and kind of what your thoughts are on that whole
On
debate.
how I made the decision?
Yeah.
I mean, they presented the opportunity, and I said, can I get my family? Can I bring my family too? And they said, yeah, and that was it. I think it's I'm not mad at people for, saying I need to do my research, or, they got to take the steps that make them comfortable. But I have a lot of people in my family that I'm tight with and that I spend a lot of time around, and, I'm just not going to put their health or their lives in danger because, I want to hold a big research when, as a kid, I had to get shots my whole life, and before I went to college, I had to get shots, and I couldn't tell you one thing about any of them. So if it's something that, I've had people in my family actually die and people actually lose their lives to it, like, I'm not, and it's a way for me to protect myself and the people that I love, I'm going to do it. It's pretty simple.
Nick Kripke?
Dame, as opposed to a different coach coming in, you had that background with Chauncey already. How does that kind of start that you already have that ground level already laid?
I mean, I think it's a really positive thing that we knew each other before, because the conversation isn't a get-to-know-you conversation and then talk basketball. It's like I already knew him. We already had each other's phone number and spoke, pretty often. So when he came, it was just like, let's try to figure it out, as opposed to like, let's learn each other. That was less of a process. So Neil always compared me to him. Like, when I first came in the league, Neil would be like, you remind me of Chauncey. Like, Chauncey was like this, Chauncey did this, Chauncey did that. And he always would tell me I remind him of himself as a player, just by demeanor and how I go about stuff. So it's definitely a fit, and spending time around him now, like, is definitely a fit. And, I can see where his experience as a player and, at a championship level can really help our team. Just from the way he teaches and the detail that he speaks with is from a winning player's perspective, and I think everybody has to automatically respect that, and you can see the command that he has over the team when he speaks, or when somebody's working out and they're not going hard enough, and he like, whoa, stop. Like, if you're going to do this, this is what it needs to look like. You can just tell that it's going to, he's going to be a good fit for this team.
Okay, two more. Orrin Manor?
There's been a lot of media buzz regarding your happiness with the team, with the organization. Not us, we're the good guys. You talked about that, but how can you utilize that buzz, that people talking, and turn it into positive reinforcement both on the court and off the court?
You said utilize the buzz? I mean, I don't need to. I mean, a lot of times, it was buzz because of things that people were reporting that just never came from me, So anytime you have somebody that is a high-level player in this league and they mention something along the lines of, I want to see this get better, I don't know what I'm going to do, then it's all of a sudden people start to make up your mind for you and tell you, well, this is what he meant, and he said this and he said that. But, like, I don't think it's my job to control the buzz, positive, negative, or whatever. Like, I know where my heart is. I know how I operate as a person. And my teammates know as well. Everybody that I'm around on a daily basis, they know how I move. They know how I feel because I don't go away from that. So I don't really need to. You know, my actions, when I show up in the gym and I just do what I always do, that's all I need to do and perform. And I always do that too. So I don't really think it's nothing else for me to say as far as like controlling what people say and how to make it positive and all those things. Like when you are who you say you are and you show people that constantly, like I don't gotta try to flip nothing or make people say this instead of saying that. I just let them say what they're gonna say and I continue to be who I am.
Any area of interest?
Damian, the word accountability has been thrown around a lot. You are the franchise player, a superstar player. How can Chauncey Billups hold you accountable? What does that word mean to you coming from him? How can he make you better?
I mean, I think it speaks for itself. You know, accountability is when he has something to say, or if I'm out of line on something, or if I'm not doing something that I'm supposed to be doing, him being able to challenge me on that or call me out on that. And I've never had an issue accepting that. When I was in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, or the NBA, I've never had an issue with accountability. If something ever crossed my desk or I was ever challenged or called out on something, if I felt like I had something to say about it, then I'll say it. But if I feel like I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. If I feel like I wasn't good enough at something, I'll say I wasn't good enough. But I've never had an issue with accountability. So if that's something that's going to be a big part of our team or a big part of, you know, what our staff is going to bring, then it's not alarming to me because I welcome it. I always have. So, you know, I think that's a good thing for our team.
Okay, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks, Dame. I know you all got a lot of questions for Dame. I'm guessing he'll be available.